So we're now the light green, the color that the goblins used to be, and we'll just do a little territory check. We completely wiped out the goblins, completely wiped out the orcs. For the most part, we cleared up to Grand Peak, and I thought that was it for them, but what I didn't realize is they actually took this territory from the Skaven kill zone, and so the orc lords that we did not capture are probably there right now replenishing their troops. We need to take that immediately. Using our extremely fast ship, we were able to navigate up this river, and we made it over to kill zone pretty fast. And luckily near kill zone, we ran into Lady Eleanor, and originally my plan for starting this episode was I was going to look for her and give her all of our cavalry because she's really fast. She's got 7 pathfinding, and since we left her, I guess she got 3 level ups. We're going to put them all into charisma and get her up to 9 leadership, and then let's buff up her trainer as well. Although she already has good troops, maybe we should put points into tactics for her, and I think that improves her ability to fight her own battles. Quote me if I'm wrong in the comment section though. I'm going to give Eleanor all of our cavalry though because they're really expensive, and our weekly wages are 27k, and that's not counting the 1300 troops that are currently defending Sartosa, a lot of them being elite troops. I want to say our weekly cost is about 50k, and we have, I think it was 10k in the treasury and then 5k in our party right now, so we are completely broke, and I'm not sure if Eleanor is going to be able to afford all these units. We should probably just give her over the better ones and distribute them to other lords, but I kind of wanted to see what happens if we give her over all the cavalry. Although that's not the smart play. I probably shouldn't do that because as far as I know, she has to pay the wages for these troops now. She has 15.7k wealth, and we'll pay attention to this number. I think it's going to go down quite considerably because I did give her over 12 of these Prince of Thieves, which have 128 wage costs. These are really kind of meh units for their amount of wage they have. They're like good all around units, but their bows are really crap, I think, but they have like really high archery skill. 22 of these Spider Riders, which have a wage of 30, 22 of these Amazon Mistress, which have a wage of 75, and then some just other random units. I'm scared to give her any more though because I feel like she's not gonna be able to pay their wages, so I kind of want to just give our other cavalry over to a different lord. She also says, farewell, I will remain your most ardent admirer, which I think it means we can marry her, but I'm not sure if there's any other lords that we should marry or if we should even marry her. But yeah, she now has 203 troops, and she's gonna help us take kill zone, which is guarded by not that many troops actually. Their lords did not have time to replenish. Fairly simple battle. Apparently we're outnumbered here despite the fact that I think we have more numbers, but I guess they must have higher tactics or something. Eleanor also has 3 of these Chaos Dwarf Infernos in her party. We're gonna have them fire at will, and we're gonna see if they can do any damage here. Hopefully they lock on to the guys in the front over there. Oh, not bad. Since that tower's closer, I thought they might lock on the units in that tower if there are any. Those archers over there are being really stupid, by the way. They are currently locked on to our infantry up there, and so they're not actually firing at us, which is kind of funny. I think they've fixed the AI a bit in Bannerlord, but yeah, in Warband it's a little bit wonky in sieges. Units basically will lock on to whatever's closest to them, and I think they will switch targets, but they'll switch to something that's also really close. At least that's my understanding of like how the AI works. But yeah, our Infernos are making this very quick. So my main plan for this episode is getting a bit derailed. We took Killzone, and that should be pretty much it for the orcs, and now I kind of want to take Festering Pit from the Skaven. It's only got 130 troops defending it. I just wonder if we take this from the Skaven, is that going to piss them off, and are they going to attack us? They are currently at war with the Beastmen and the Undead, so hopefully that is kind of distracting them a bit. And yeah, this castle's pretty easy. They do have some Jezzails in that tower, but with a little bit of manipulation and our infantry being positioned up here, those dudes are not shooting. On our way home, I decided we're going to take one more Skaven castle, and I do think doing this might piss them off, but I just saw one of their lords got taken out, so they are preoccupied a little bit. And yeah, this castle was freaking free. All of their units are just completely exposed. This is not something you want to defend. So after wiping the orcs at Killzone, we took Festering Pit and Twisted Claw from the Skaven. I'm now going to look for some lords that we can dump off a lot of our crappy units to before the 28th comes, which I think it's about to be the 26th. So we have 2 days till wages come. And to the northeast up here, Borfang is currently being sieged, as is Karaz Akrak, by 2 different factions, I think. On the way, I ran into Lord Zarhaz, who is the Chaos Lord with 9 leadership, so he should be able to manage some extra troops. We'll give him all these Master Thieves. I don't know if we should give him any more stuff though. Yeah, screw it. We'll give him the Squig Riders and the War Chiefs. And his wealth is currently 2565. We'll check back in with it in a few days to see if he can pay his wages. And I'm also tracking Eleanor's wealth. Do keep in mind he owns a town and 3 villages. So I did not know this was a thing in Warsword. We took out this Chaos Dwarf army, which had this Orc Lord prisoner. After rescuing him, there was an option for him to join us, I think because his faction's wiped, and he now joins our party as a companion. And this dude's pretty nuts. 416 all his proficiencies, 9 Iron Flesh, 10 Power Strike, 6 in Trainer, 5 in Leadership. The Leadership's not going to matter, I don't think, because it doesn't look like we can make him a Lord. Normally when you talk to a companion, there's, I'd like to ask you something, would you be interested in holding a fief? There's nothing like that for him. Either way, that's a really cool feature. I've never seen that in any mod let alone this mod. And I do think that only came about because their factions wiped. The orcs still do exist, but they don't own any territory. That battle happened near Borfang, which did just get taken by the Chaos Dwarves, and Karaz Akarak is actually currently being attacked now. We were headed that way, and I'm hoping we can make it back in time before it gets taken. There was only like 50 troops defending it. And no, they were not able to take it. We got in here, but can we defend it? This layout is actually pretty brutal to attack. Our composition is mostly archers, so I think this is actually going to work out good for us. We don't really have any infantry to guard the fronts, which maybe I should probably do that. This shotgun's nuts. It's killed like 6 there, I think. I do think for balancing purposes, the shotgun should have a different type of ammo, if that's even possible. Because right now, if I wanted to, I could have the shotgun plus 3 cartridges, which would give me 90 shots with it. It doesn't really seem like I should be getting that many rounds when it fires a spray attack. But yeah, a lot of our archers that were at the top of our party got knocked out, that were kind of gunking things up here. And we got some trolls, and some elite units are helping to kind of plug the gap. And already that's about it for them. They're down to 8 troops, 28 dead from our main party. I don't really know what we lost. We did have a lot of good archers at the top of the party, and they spawned in like right up here, so they might have got taken out. And yeah, we lost 8 of our Chaos Dwarf Annihilators, which are the really good shotgunners. I kind of regret putting them at the top of our party. 4 Jazales, and wow, we knocked a lot of them out. We have room for 156 prisoners. We're gonna fill those up, I think. I'm just gonna try to grab the best ones here, and hopefully there's a ransom broker in this town, because this is gonna be a good chunk of change. And they're gonna give us 39k for these prisoners, plus the prisoners that we could not take went into this town's dungeon, and since we own it, we can grab them and sell them for 17k, and that should be enough to pay this week's wages at least. So weekly wages are here, and we're starting to get a lot more from towns. 12k from Sartosa, 6.3 from Da Karak Azgul, and I think that's because we have caravans traveling between our towns, because we now own a few. Before, we were only getting like 800 from tariffs. We're also getting a lot from enterprises. I've been building them in every town that we own, but we do have a lot of expenses. 10k from wages for our party, which is not bad. When we started this episode, we were at like 25k, I think, and then we still have 16k wages at Sartosa, which is 50% of the normal cost. So the units at Sartosa are worth 32k. We have a lot of really good units there, and we're gonna go grab some right now. We also have some wages for our other garrisons at our towns, plus Dragontooth Castle, which isn't really worth holding, I think. We're gonna give that over to a vassal because it's not really giving us any money. 402 per week only from rents seems pretty low. And then we're also paying for patrols that I guess are patrolling around towns. I did not hire these or anything. They just spawned and we're paying for them, I guess. But if we do talk to them, we can jack those troops. So I'll keep an eye out for the patrols. And that's something I haven't gotten in a while. A level up from trainer. If we put a point in intelligence, that's going to give us an extra skill point, and we can get up to 10 looting, which is going to give us a +4 party bonus. So we're now at 14 looting. With that 14 looting, we've been getting more loot from battles. Plus when we've been stealing cattle from villages, I think we're getting more. It says we can drive 53 heads away from this village, which you can interrupt this. And I'm not sure if you actually get less. It says we only got 18 there. And the penalties for doing that are just some loss of relation with the lord that owned the village and some loss of relation with the village. So it's harder to recruit troops from villages, but we haven't been doing that for a long time. We're going to fast forward. I think it's been about 11 days, and all this territory up here to the northeast has been retaken for the most part. Borfang is about to be retaken. I think I'm just going to give this up for now, as it's too hard to get back here if someone attacks it. Karaz Akarak also got retaken by Kislev. And to the south, I didn't actually notice Bretonia snuck in here and stole Bloodhorn from us. I don't even know why they came this far, because Bretonian territory is like way up here, so they must just not really have anything to do. We head into this territory a bit, and we were fighting the dwarves for a while, but a lot of their lords were around this area, so we couldn't really take much more territory. The purpose for us going here was not actually to take this territory, it was to take some of the dwarves prisoners, and we'll go over the prisoners that we took later. But for now, we're going to try to expand into Skaven territory and possibly into the Beastman territory. Pretty much anything that's near the ocean, because like for example, if we're successful at taking Mirage Liano from them and they come over and re-siege it, we can go back to Sartosa, grab our elite troops, and then come back and defend it. And so our next plan of action is going to be to try to take Mirage Liano. Now I did a practice run on this. It was a fail, and basically what you got to do is go over this boat, then that one, then that boat, and then there's a ladder that goes over there, and then there's an entrance way over there. But while you're heading there, you're getting gunned at by all these Jazales over here on this side. And the reason why you're seeing me not play my main character, I'm playing Scarlet the Wanderer, who you can control if you want to not play your main character. You can talk to your companion and be like, yo, I want to play as you for this siege or battle or whatever, and you can do that. I don't think you can do it in dungeons though, but yeah, I'm gonna have to take out all these Jazales over here, I think, on my own, because I don't think our archers will lock onto them. And actually I got a kill there, very nice. If we just keep our archers back here, they're actually behaving a lot smarter and they're shooting at these dudes over here. And I'm not sure if anyone's gonna shoot those dudes over there, but I can maybe do that with the dragon bow. I have the legendary bow that we bought for 100k, and Scarlet the Wanderer has a really good archery skill. And I think he's getting close to 10 power draw as well, which is why my reticle is so tiny, and the dragon bow is really accurate as well. But yeah, moving forward in this playthrough, I don't know how far we're gonna be able to get because it feels like we're having to do a lot of grinding, and there's a lot of micromanaging and just a lot of minor stuff that is very painful. One main problem I've had to deal with recently is keeping lords happy, and it seems like no matter how many fiefs you give away to them, they're still going to be unhappy. And there's like kind of a limit to how many lords you can have, which is not good if we want to conquer the entire map. And the reason why it feels like there's a limit is every time you give away a fief to another lord, you gain 10 relation with them, but you lose 1 relation with all your other vassals for the most part. I think like Sir Airstye is the only one that doesn't care, but the rest of the crappy companions, they are always upset if you give over territory to other crappy companions. So if I were to do a run of this again, maybe I would not make those random crappy companions lords, because yeah, they are very finicky and it's very hard to keep them happy. Headshot, 564 damage. So yeah, this bow has the ability to do up to 6 times the damage. It like rolls a 6-sided dice every time you hit someone, and it multiplies the damage by that number or something like that. But yeah, we took out a few, 26 dead, mainly their gunmen, and I think we're just gonna retreat. We did lose 2 on the retreat, which is not bad. And I guess we killed some of them on the retreat. 12 Jezzail's dead, which is pretty good considering they only have, I think it was like 50 of them. And yeah, I checked, they only have 35 more Jezzails, so we're getting some good progress. And as far as how we're gonna do this, we're putting our Jezzails on the back here, and then we actually can move our archers over to that ship. I did not realize that we could go over there. They are kind of getting stuck down here though, so I don't know how good this strategy is actually working for us. And yeah, certain sieges like this do require a lot of work on my end, but a lot of sieges I don't think are going to be like this. And once we do take it, then we can use the wonky AI against the AI. We'll just put basically no garrison here, and we'll try to bait the AI into attacking it. I'm sure the Skaven's going to try to come over and retake it if we put like 30 units here. And already after, I want to say like 3 more attacks, we took out pretty much all their range units. I don't know if they have any range units aside from some of their Eshin assassins have throwing weapons, but I think that's about it. It's only a matter of time before we clear these rats out. And I think because there's too much battle size, they have a rally point that extends to out here. So I think their main rally point is inside this gate, because yeah, a lot of their infantry are actually holding inside the gate, but since the battle size is about 2.5 times what it should be, a lot of them are kind of holding out here for some reason. It's not even like they're spilling out here, they're just going directly to this corner. I'm not really sure why that is. There was 350 prisoners here, so we got quite a bit of menuing to do, and this is part of what's been making everything so painful, is there's no ability to select all, which I think they did fix this in a recent patch, but it requires a new save. So we hired all the prisoners that were at Miragliano and dumped them off at the garrison. It's got about 275, and I don't know if anyone's going to try to siege that. I kind of want them to though, because I want to defend it, but I just saw a Skaven Lord got defeated in battle a few hours ago, and they are at war with the Beastmen. So we made back over to the Skaven territory, and their entire army is between Miragliano and Skaven Blight, and I kind of want to do a little damage to Skaven Blight if we can. Like, we can siege it instantly, so we could attack this 10 times before they get over here. And whoa, this layout is looking interesting. I think we're gonna at least be able to gun at them. If I take out my shotgun, I can just blast those dudes up there. I took out like 4 Jezzails with that 1 shotgun blast. Yeah, if we pull our archers back here, it looks like they are maybe able to lock onto those Jezzails. Yeah, they're kind of duking it out with them. And I just killed 3 with that shotgun spray. This does not look like a layout that you'd want to defend, I think. It's not nearly as busted as Miragliano. So we probably want to garrison more troops here. We have 2 firebelchers and a master engineer in this group. Oh yeah. It was 136 dead when I just checked. It's 156 dead now, so that was 20, I think. Oh man. 188 dead, 193. Yeah, this is not a layout you want to defend. It almost seems like the attackers have an advantage on this one. Yeah, I think we'll just take it without even having to back out. So fast forward another 10 days, the dwarves have taken to Mighty Fist from us. It's not a layout you really want to defend, so we just gave it up. The Skaven took Camp of Skulls from the Beastmen and only garrisoned 100 troops there, so we took that from them, and they're now retaking it. For some reason, Bretonnia came over and took Skaven Blight from us, which earlier they took Bloodhorn from us. I'm not sure why they have it out for us so hard. I think they're not at war with everyone, if I had to guess. They're only at war with us and the vampires, and the vampires are pretty far away from them, so it's either us or them, basically. After taking Skaven Blight, pretty much their entire army is now at Miragliano, so we will be able to defend this. I repositioned our units so we have our spray units up here that do the spray attack, and they're spraying down at these dudes as they enter. for the most part. These guys might not have line of sight, some of them. And okay, I spread these dudes out a little bit more. I think this is probably better. And as these guys enter, they just get sprayed down. And we have all of our infantry over there. I put all the trolls at the very top. We have 21 of these river trolls. And they're not our only elite units, but since we have 21 of them, it was easy to just move them to the top. So I just moved them all to the top. And if they take damage, they will regenerate it over time. And yeah, trolls are really good in situations like this where the enemy kind of just walks in, hits them a little bit, but then they have time to regenerate, because so far we've only lost 4 units. We've killed 171, knocked out 115. And I think the trolls knocked out a lot of those guys because they do blunt damage and they can take prisoners, which is also nice about them. But at this point, it's pretty much just a waiting game to try to bait enemies into attacking towns with layouts that are similar to this, that are really defensible. There's a few castles that I know of as well that are really defensible. And basically our win condition is in each one of these battles we'll capture lords, and we eventually just capture every lord pretty much. And it's kind of just going to be a rinse and repeat process, which I don't know how interesting that's going to be. I think there's just way too much grinding between now and the end of the game, and there's not a lot of things that I've been able to do as far as like lord development. It takes a lot of grinding to get your relation up with lords. Oh, and here's the outside, by the way. Do keep in mind we are outnumbered by quite a bit, so we don't have as many units out here, but we still do have quite a bit of archers that are up on these walls, and I don't think the enemy has taken any of them out. I could also move more archers out here to the walls, but there's kind of no point. Like, I just put the fireglaves at the top of our party because they are pretty imbalanced. I would say maybe adding friendly fire to them so that their shotguns do friendly fire, or just maybe lower the amount of rounds they have, because they do fire like 10 round sprays, I think, and I think they do 60 damage each if they work like my shotgun. I think the only difference between my shotgun and theirs is mine just does more damage, but I can just like spray into those guys, and I'm doing 416 damage on the headshot, 182, 222. I think maybe the damage on the spray should be less because it sprays out, or yeah, it should have like its own set of ammo where it just only has like, I don't know, 8 rounds in each cartridge or something. So if you do use these, then they can run out of ammo and you got to kind of conserve it. Similar to how you have to conserve the master engineer's ammo and you gotta watch out for friendly fire. I think any one of those elements could make it more balanced. I'm not saying they need to have like friendly fire, less ammo, and less damage, but I think one of those would make them more balanced. Because yeah, I put these at the top of our party and I can literally just go AFK and they'll clear out pretty much any attack for us. And yeah, here's our casualties from that battle. 3 Jazales lost, 2 Waystalkers, which are archers, but no trolls died. There were also some random units in the garrison that got taken out. 13 of them died, but we took out 1289. After the siege, all their lords are going to try to scatter, but we should be able to run them down. There's all these lords here, and if we just click on one of them, we're able to engage him, and the rest of our lords will try to help. We do have a pretty cool army here. So we have a bunch of these rune lords that have been knocking out from the dwarves, and we've been recruiting them to our party, and these things are insanely good. They can take prisoners with their maces, and they are very tanky, and they're small. You can kind of have them hide behind these bigger units that you don't really care about losing too much. And like, for example, these guys are charging him with their insane amount of cavalry. We're going to have ours meet them, and enemy ranged accuracy and reload speed is hexed. That's from our ice witch. We'll have our big units charge in, and then we'll have these guys charge in last, because the rune lords are the main things that we don't want to lose. We don't really care about anything else for the most part. It's like one of our bear riders got taken out. I can ride this bear. Yeah, we stole these bear riders from Kislev. We stole 4 of them, and they're like their special troop, I think. Yeah, 11 wounded, 2 dead from us only. We've taken out 170. So we defeated 525 of them. They had like 600 something, so I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to fight them again. On the second attack, we lost 1 trash unit, took out the rest of them, knocked out 7 paladins, and now we get to see if we capture any lords. We did capture the Fae Enchantress. It's too bad that you can't recruit lords that you capture, like maybe lower the capture chance a little bit, but then make it so you can recruit them or something. I don't know, I think that'd be kind of cool. Wow, the rest of them got away. Maybe don't lower the capture chance. We knocked out 18 Grail Knights, 30 Questing Knights, 18 Knights of the Realm, 11 Paladins. We can recruit all those to our party, and that'd be a huge boost. Knocked out 2 casters as well. Could pick them up. Never mind, 3 casters actually. Plus we got a ton of loot. 11k for this chest piece, 4.5, 3.7. Yeah, Bretonnian gear is pretty nice. We found a ransom broker, and we're able to sell all those prisoners for 36k, not including the casters or the paladins.